everybody. How are you? Good morning. Hope you're having a great day. So, doing something a little different today. I'm not doing a react to any of Chantal's current content. I'm doing a react to some of her older content. Now, for those of you that are subscribed to French Fry Girl's channel, then you know that she's been doing a lot of retro reacts, and Chantal has been hating it. She's hating it because she doesn't want new Beezers who have no idea about her past to find out about her past. It just makes Chantal angry that she can not only not rewrite history, but erase history. So the more that Frenchie reacts to her older stuff, the madder it makes her. Well, there's another channel called Knock Knock It's Karma. And Knock Knock It's Karma puts together some really well done, well edited videos showing a lot of Chantal's vintage antics. And she released something last night, a really well done, well put together, well edited video called Eat, Pray, Love. Yalla means let's go. So was released 13 hours ago. I watched it. I was there for the premiere and I really loved it. And so on my channel, I would like to react to it. And I'm not going to monetize this. We're doing this for free. I'm just doing this just to piss Chantal off. Just to show anybody who's on her channel that might wander on over to the reaction channels exactly who Chantal really is. And if she ever came back to Canada, this is who she's going to become again. Because in the year that she's been in Kuwait, she hasn't changed one bit. There's been no self-improvement. She has no self-control. And she's still an addict on many levels. You know, being away from the source of your addictions does not mean that you are in recovery. It just means that you are simply dry of whatever it is you're addicted to. So I wanted to react to this well done, well edited video from Knock Knock It's Karma. Now, before we get started, I would like to tell everybody that this react is going to be full of a lot of bad language, both from Chantal and myself, because I'm not going to hold back with her, because the things that were put in this video were really vile, absolutely vile. So if you're sensitive to bad language, there's going to be a lot of it, because I'm not going to control my mouth. Also, if you're someone that you've been through SA or DV, there are large mentions of it in this video. So if that will in any way affect you or trigger you, please don't watch this video. Because the last thing I want to do is trigger someone in a very negative way. Okay, so with that said, we're going to watch the video and I'm going to give my thoughts. And there's going to be portions of this that I cut out, not because they weren't well done, but there are movie clips from a movie called The Crush. A really good movie, but YouTube, they get sensitive to showing movie clips and all that. And I don't want to trigger their bots and make them angry. So apologies, Knock Knock It's Karma. The entire video was great, but you know how YouTube is. Me cutting them out does not mean your video was bad in any way. It's just YouTube. One more thing. Can I express my appreciation for the archive channels, for the react channels, and for anyone who decides to put together a video like this? Because it is a process. There's a lot of hard work involved. There's a lot of homework you have to do, gathering up all the clips, gathering up appropriate music, adding the commentary. It's a lot of work. Chantal is on her side of the fence saying that the reaction channels are thieves, that we're lazy. At the same time, she's the most lazy. She has no idea what it takes to put together a video like this, where you're going back through years of history and finding clips and putting them together into a storyboard that people can follow. It can take several hundred hours sometimes. So with all that said, let's get started with the react, shall we? And remember, there's going to be some bad language. I'm going to go off on her. That's what we're doing today because I feel like it. So let's get to, and For those who are interested in the original video by Knock Knock It's Karma, I will be leaving the video link in the description. If you like the video, if you like everything that Knock Knock has done, please go over there and sub up to them and leave a comment and give them some engagement. That would be awesome. So let's get to, shall we?
Subject today. Something that a lot of people online like to talk about, but what you probably don't know for me is that I don't like to talk about it. I don't even like to think about it.
Shantal, I don't want to talk about it and I don't want to think about it. Also, Shantal proceeds to think about it, proceeds to talk about it. I don't want to talk about this. It triggers me. It's bad, but I'm going to talk about it because I'm on YouTube. And I'm going to turn all of my suffering and all of my pain, my alleged pain, into profit because that's my content. It's pain. It's suffering. It's me crying and whining and me needing a wambulance. That's my content. Negativity all day long. Drama and negativity. So don't let her fool you. Don't let her fool you with this. I don't want to talk about it. Oh, she wants to talk about it. She just got to act like she doesn't want to talk about it. Because when she talks about it, it doesn't bother her. She'll bring it up multiple times.
Beauty bite, buffalo. Dip them in the buffalo. Not bad. I want to talk about Cuba a bit.
Okay. I want to talk about Cuba. But Shantal, Cuba was a horrible time in your life. When you went to Cuba, you did not have the best time. You were raging 99.999% of the time. You weren't happy. You were alone in Cuba and you were raging at Natter the entire time. That's how you spent your little vacation. You paid all that money, flew all the way down there to that resort. You never got off the resort to go anywhere else, but you spent all of that time alone, angry. But now here you are, ages later, and you want to talk about it. You want to remember it. Strange, isn't it? That time period when she was in Cuba, when this alleged abuser was around her, she wants to remember that time. She wants to talk about that time. And by doing so, she's going to remember that person. As someone who's been through DV and SA, can I just tell you, when you've actually been through that hell, when you've actually been through it, not cosplaying it like this one is, you don't want to think about your abuser. You don't want to talk about them. You want to get as far away from them as you possibly can. You will get away and you will stay away. You don't even want to think of their name. So here's where part of the math ain't mathin'. She's with Salah. She's in Kuwait. She doesn't have to bring this up. She can talk about whatever she wants. She's choosing the topic of conversation for her videos. So if somebody has hurt you in that way, why think about them if you don't have to? Why mention it if you don't have to? Why? Because it paints her a victim. She wants people's sympathy, but more importantly, she wants their money. Because during that whole time period when she was with Natter and she was coming online for hours and hours and hours and days and nights talking about her supposed trauma, she made a lot of money. A lot of people in her audience that have been through that hell, they felt sympathetic for Shantal. And I will be the first to say, and I will be honest, in the beginning, she got me. Like, I really thought she was being honest. And as someone I've been through that, I was like, oh my God. Like, because anybody who's been through it, you know how dangerous it can get and how quickly it can go from 0 to 100. So I was honestly worried at that time because I thought she was being honest. But then as time went on, and she started talking about these things that happened to her, it just occurred to me she was lying. The math wasn't mathing. How is this woman getting online talking about these things that allegedly are happening to her or have happened to her with no problem? She's not having a visceral reaction, which is what you're going to have if you've been through that abuse. You're going to have some sort of visceral reaction. You're visibly upset. You're uncomfortable. She wasn't uncomfortable. She can get online with thousands of people and talk about what happened to her with no issue. If you've been through it for real, it's hard to talk about it with just one person. Also, in the category of the math ain't mathin', for someone who is being abused by another person and she easily had the power to stay away, she never did. She kept going back. And she also had no issue being in any enclosed space alone with him, which is something you don't do if you've been with an abuser. You don't feel comfortable. You don't feel safe. And another thing, provoking your abuser. For someone who's being abused by Natter, she was completely okay with provoking him, provoking his anger, getting in his face, yelling at him. Who would do that to somebody who's abusing you? When somebody abuses you, you're terrified. You're afraid of their mood change. You're afraid of what's going to happen. You will do everything in the world to not get their attention. And yet she kept going after him and kept going back. That's why I call her a fake, phony victim, because she is. She never went through that trauma. Never. Not once. And y'all going to see in the video, she confesses that she lied. You're going to see.
Don't talk about it unless you're going to be honest.
Yeah, well, good luck. Knock, knock. Shantal, be honest? Never. She'll give us everything but the truth. Everything. Honesty is just a taste in her mouth that she does not want there.
Because I've seen some comments from people saying that I should go to Cuba again.
Where are you seeing these comments? You guys see, I read her comment section. I haven't seen comments like that. Nobody has said that to her. She's just trying to find a way to weave what she wants to talk about into a conversation because she wants to bring it up and paint herself a victim. By the way, Shantal, you did a video recently where you talked about how you worked at a women's shelter. Maybe you did some volunteer work. The moment that you revealed that, a light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, aha, now I get it. This was how you were able to talk about being allegedly abused without actually being abused. When you work at a women's shelter, I'm sure you talk to the ladies there, or you overhear them talking about what they've been through. So I'm sure you listened, you eavesdropped, or maybe you talked to them directly. You heard their stories. So you were able to talk in that language. But because you haven't actually been through that hell, there were a lot of things that were missing, like the visceral reaction when you talk about your experiences. That's missing because nothing ever happened. But that's how you were able to cosplay at it a little bit, but not successfully. Because those of us that have been through that, we can spot a fake like you a mile away. And I did. And a lot of other people did. But there are going to be some other words in this video where you're basically going to let everybody know out of your own mouth that you're a liar. We'll get to that part, y'all. But let's keep going.
And be happy. And I swear, in the same breath, people will say, you were so happy in Cuba.
No, you weren't. No, she was not happy. No, 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 she wasn't. She was a raging mess. What if she was so happy in Cuba? Why do we have the infamous Cuba rage? I mean, make that make sense. How can you have a happy vacation, but there's a remnant of your vacation that everybody still references on the reaction channels, the infamous Cuba rage, where the mask came all the way off, mama. You were all in your feelings. You were all in your arrogance. Maybe there was a little bit of alcohol involved, but we have seen you be equally as mean, if not meaner, sober. So you can't blame it on the alcohol. But you were not happy in Cuba.
And then pick apart my Cuba rage. So,
you mean the rage that even to this day you will not address? When you came back from Cuba, a lot of people on your channel were saying, play the Cuba rage and give us your thoughts. You wouldn't do it, coward. You wouldn't react to yourself. You would not react to the words coming out of your mouth. You were scared to death because you knew you were completely out of pocket.
First, you said your rage was because you were hammered drunk. Now you're saying it's because you weren't happy. Which is it?
It's a little bit of both. But then again, Shantal is never happy, Karma. She's never happy. When is Shantal honestly, truly happy? She's not. She doesn't dwell in a state of happiness. It's a state of chasing happiness versus actually being happy. You know, grabbing onto little bits of momentary happiness, and as soon as they're gone, she's on to the next one. Just hopping from one thing to the next thing, from the drugs to the food to men and back again, back and forth, basically playing Frogger with herself. Story of her life. Just grabbing onto the quick happiness, because long-term happiness requires work. It requires change and self-development. And she doesn't want anything to do with work. So she'll take the quick fixes over putting the work in and getting long-term results.
I thought it would. Chewing's annoying. I tell you how I was really feeling. Cuba Resorts, Cuba itself has the potential to be very fun.
Yeah, well, then why weren't you having fun? You did not have fun. That's awful. You went to Cuba and you had no fun. None. You basically wasted your money on a vacation that did not relax you. You're such a failure, even at vacationing somewhere.
It was my first time traveling alone in that way. I went with Sunwing Vacations. I had just gotten my terminated channel back.
Yeah, by the way, good job, YouTube. Good job. You gave her channel back, and look what she's doing with it. Good job. You gave her the grace that you haven't given to other channels who haven't broken nearly as many rules as Shantal. Look at how she has spent your blessing. You gave her channel back, and she is continuing to do the same toxic self-harm content that she ever did. So good job on that good decision, YouTube. You're awesome. You're great. You're fantastic.
But then I brought with me, because you can't escape it, even though you're going on vacation, leave all your problems behind. My problems followed me to Cuba.
That's because you are the problem. That's exactly why wherever you go in the world, there you are. And whatever issues you have inside of you, they go with you. all of that heavy emotional baggage, it will follow you no matter where you go, no matter where you try to go in the world or run away from it, it will follow you. It'll be right there because it's inside of you. So you went to Cuba to escape your problems. That didn't work. You've gone to Kuwait to escape your problems. Is that working for you? I don't think it's working for you. You're in Kuwait and you're heavier than you've ever been. We've never seen you as big as you are now, Shantal. It's scary. You are outgrowing abayas. You're over there breaking couches and chairs. That's never happened in the foodieverse, not once. You're unhappy, but yet you just don't have a throat large enough to swallow your pride and eat that piece of humble pie you desperately need and just admit you've made some bad choices. You've made some bad decisions. Just cut the losses, go back to Canada and fix your shit. No, it's more important for you to prove everybody wrong. But the longer you stay in Kuwait, the more you prove us right. Because everybody can see that you're miserable. Everybody can see that Salah does not love you, will never love you. He's so not in love with you to the point where just to keep him around, you're giving him more and more access to your money so he won't run off to the red room with another girl. You know, it's not a matter of winning or losing anymore, Shantal. You've already lost. Now it's just a matter of how much do you want to lose? You want to get down to absolutely nothing? Or are you smart enough to get out while you still got something to work with? Hey, it's up to you.
Your problems follow you because you are the problem.
Yep.
I was still attached to a narcissistic abuser.
And you're still attached to him because even to this day, when you don't have to mention him or bring him up, you're bringing him up. You keep mentioning your past. Oh, I was with a narcissist. I was with you know who, and he hurt me. You keep bringing him up. And you know what? When you bring up somebody or something, that just shows it's in the forefront of your mind. It's up here. It's right there. It's not back here. It's not in the back portion of your mind. It's in the front. Shantal, even to this day, you're still attached to Nader. Nader was your one true love. He was an awful, mean, nasty person, but then again, so are you. That's why the two of you got along so well. You got along on that level. He was exactly like you. He was the male version of you. You two clashed, but that was because you were both so much alike. He was the male version of you, and looking at him for you was like looking in the mirror. It was just a male version of you. And you didn't like what you saw. At the same time, you wanted to control it, though, and it drove you mad, the fact that you couldn't, because you're a toxic, parasitic, predatory person. You meet up with a guy and you decide that one's mine without consenting how they feel. And you feel no matter what you look like, no matter what your hygiene is, as long as you got a YouTube paycheck, you can buy them. So you come off as being generous. Here, let me do all these things for you. I'll buy your groceries. I'll buy you an iPad. Let me make some videos for you. Let me do the filming. Let me do the thumbnails. You're not being generous. What you're doing is creating leverage that you will then hold over that person's head. And if you guys get into a fight, you will throw it in their face. I do so much for you, and I did all this for you, and you owe me. The moment you start doing something for somebody, they owe you, and in your mind, you own them. And if you own something, even if you don't want it, nobody else can have it. It's all about obsession and possession with you, Shantal. Always has been. You're not about that life of finding someone that honestly wants to be with you. It's about finding someone that you're going to configure things to where they can't escape. And if they try, you're going to punish them. But y'all are going to see that for yourselves in a minute, because there's more.
All this time later, still blaming Nads. This alone indicates nothing has changed. You admitted he never, quote, abused you, unquote.
Yep, she said that.
Here you sit accusing him again, making him responsible for the behavior only you are responsible for. Nobody made you this way. You've been this way since you were a child.
Yep. So I'm going to bring this up. This is part of Shantal's history. This is a thing. When she was about, I believe it was in her early teens, about 15, 16 years old, something happened. There was a boyfriend or a guy that Shantal wanted to be with, and Shantal's mother told her no. So Shantal told her family that she took a bunch of pills. So they took her to a hospital to get her stomach pumped. And knowing that the lie was going to be exposed, Shantal took a bunch of pills right then and there. She snuck off trying to take a bunch of pills because she did not want the lie to be discovered. You know, that's her way of thinking. Rather than confess that she lied and get caught in a lie, she's going to cover up the lie. See, like this troubling, problematic behavior of hers has been going on for so many years, unchecked, untreated. That this is how she operates. She's going to lie, and she will do everything in her power to make sure that the lie is not uncovered, because she does not want to be wrong and she does not want to be called out for her lies.
Do I need to remind everyone of the story you told us about your high school teacher rejecting your advances, so as his punishment you lied and said he came on to you, nearly ruining this man's...
One moment. Sorry about that. I'm turning off my phone. So I didn't know about that story about the high school teacher. You did that, Shantal? You lied on a teacher because you came on to him and he said no? So you said things like that and basically tried to ruin his reputation? That is vile. It's one thing if somebody has done something to you and you're seeking justice. It's another to accuse somebody who's innocent of something severe that can affect their life, can send them to prison, destroy their reputation, take away their employment. But that's how vile she is. It's all about her getting what she wants. If you don't give it to her freely, she's going to force it out of you. She's going to punish you for not giving her what she wants. She's just, Shantal, I'm just going to say it. You should be locked up for your behavior. If you're predatory, evil, vile behavior, you should be locked up or put in inpatient facility or therapy or something. You don't need to be around normal people. You're too horrible.
Life. If you had truly changed, you would be able to own your behavior honestly. A simple, I was wrong, I'm sorry, goes a long way, or simply not speaking about it anymore. You wouldn't continue exploiting the same lie over and over and over. You've been told time after time how disrespectful and insulting this is to real abuse victims and survivors.
Yep, sure is. Sure is. I was there when she would get online for days, weeks, nights talking about her alleged abuse. It was a snowball effect. She would talk about her alleged abuse. The people in her chat that had been through SA or DV, they were being triggered. But she wanted to trigger those people. She wanted to open up all those scars and all those old wounds if it meant dollar signs were going to pour out. The people that had been through those things, they felt a certain kind of way. They felt sympathetic to Shantal. And so, like, out of empathy, I guess, they were sending her money. She made a lot of money during that time, exploiting the topics of SA and DV. So much so that she did it multiple times. She talked about it in length, and then she let it go, and then talked about it again. And then just when it suits her, when she wants people to feel sympathetic towards her, to seem like a victim, she'll bring it up and bring it up and bring it up. And nothing happened to her. Nothing. And I say that based on her behavior, because she's bringing it up. There's no visceral reaction. If somebody really abused you, you don't want to talk about them. You don't want to think of their name. You don't want to provoke your abuser in any way. You want to get as far away as possible. Like, there's a lot of things that don't match to me. So I'm calling bullshit on everything with her. Everything. Everything. But we're going to keep watching, because in this video, she even says herself nothing bad happened. So I'm going to let her hang herself with her own words.
Many of them your viewers. You do the same thing with drugs and alcohol, blaming your vile behavior on addiction, making a complete and total mockery of what real addicts go through on a daily basis.
Right?
These things are not jokes or weapons to be used to get your way. These are real-life struggles people struggle with. It's a slap in the face to every victim, survivor, and addict out there.
Yep.
But you don't care about them or what trauma your lies may make resurface.
Can I just add this in? Because I kind of forgot there for a minute. When Sean started talking about her trauma, people in her chat were triggered. But it gets worse. I remember seeing people in her comments, they were sharing their stories because they got triggered. And then because, the reaction channels covering Shantal, the exposure was huge. Like, a lot of people that were they just want to watch Shantal. When things really got dark and she started bringing up SA and DV, lots and lots of people got triggered. It was all over the place. It was bad. And she has no respect for the real victims, the real survivors. She will exploit any topic that she can if it means she can make money off of it. She doesn't care how it affects other people. She doesn't care if it triggers other people, as long as she makes $1 or a dime from it. She's just vile.
Why can't you talk about your own addiction, food, and how that negatively impacts every aspect of your life?
Oh, she has. But she's not serious about changing it, Karma. She's talked about it, but yet she doesn't want to do anything about it. She knows what she needs to do. There are resources out there. There are people that would help her. There are inpatient facilities, I'm sure, in Canada that could help her. She don't want nothing to do with it. She would go into an inpatient facility if she could take her camera and put it on YouTube and show other people on camera, or she could take her camera into a therapy session. She would do that. She wants nothing to do with healing if it means she can't make money off of it and she can't monetize it. She wants to go on and continue hurting and triggering other people while she's hurting, rather than do what any normal person who's in pain would want to do and just heal from the pain.
So I was preventing it from becoming illegal. The detective warned me. Actual grape? Oh.
Okay, here we go. This is the hard question. Did he actually grape you? Did he, Shantal?
So,
before she even says a word, if somebody in her audience is saying, did he grape you? The answer automatically should be no or yes. Like, why do you need to think about it? If it happened, it happened. And I know some people in my audience might say, well, this is a very sensitive topic, Rose. If that is something like that has happened to you, you might not come forward immediately and say yes or no. But remember, these are topics she put on the table and she monetized. That's the difference. She offered up the topics. She wants people to look at her as a victim. She wants people to talk about it. So once you put something on the table, it's up for discussion. But look at her reaction right now. Somebody asked her the question, did he hurt you like that? No automatic answer. And she's looking down, which means she's ready. She's ready to lie or she is ready to confess the truth.
I didn't lie for revenge, but
Done. I didn't lie for revenge, but you lied. But you lied. So you didn't lie for revenge. Why did you lie? Why did you lie? Because you want to be a victim? Because you need a topic of conversation on YouTube to make money? Is that why you lied? I have never in my life met someone who wants to be a victim of that kind of trauma so bad as I am looking at Shantal. Those of us who've been through that shit, we never want to be a victim. It just happened. Those of us who've been in DV situations, we never want to be a part of that either. Nobody wants to go through that. It sucks. It's painful. It becomes toxic and poisonous real fast. And the only way you can stop that kind of hurt is to get completely away. Emotionally, you might fight yourself because you love that person. But then at some point, something breaks. And you just realize, I love that person, but obviously they don't love me if they're treating me like this. And staying is only making the hurt more intense. So the best thing I can do is to leave. And Chantal's situation with Natter was different than a lot of other people who've been through, say, DV. Because in a lot of DV situations, you live with your abuser. That's your home. That's their home. And you have nowhere to go. You have no money to get somewhere else. Maybe you don't have family or friends to go to. Maybe you don't know of any resources. You feel completely drained and helpless. And then there's the other factor of, if I find the strength to get away, what's going to happen if this person finds me? Because whatever hurt I'm experiencing right now, it's going to be 1,000 times worse if they locate me. So you're afraid living with the person, but you're more afraid of, what if I leave? Where do I go? How do I stay away? And if this person finds me, are they going to end my life? Is it going to get that bad? She never had those fears because Natter didn't have a car. He could not drive. She had to literally physically go see him each and every time. She could have blocked his number on her phone and never contacted him again. She could have stopped whatever pain was going on anytime she wanted, but she wanted it to continue because she was obsessed with him. And he was part of her storyline and she was making money. So whatever was going on, let's keep it going because it's making money for me. Even if it's painful, even if it's traumatic, even if he's awful, I'm making money. I got to stick with this because I'm on YouTube and this is how I'm making my money. If you go through DV, you're going through that kind of pain, you're not going to look at things that way. You're not going to look at it as a storyline. You're not going to look at that paycheck. You're going to say, I want to get the fuck out. This is crazy. She never had that thought.
I exaggerated it.
Boom! Done. Done. I'm out. I exaggerated, she says. She said, I didn't lie, but I exaggerated. What is an exaggeration? It's a lie. It's a lie. Do I think that her and Natter had some arguments? Yeah. You know, because they were both just trying to get control of each other and they butted heads. But having an argument is not the same as abuse. She just turned that into that in her head and put it on YouTube because she wanted people to feel sympathetic. She wanted to be the center of attention. Let me tell you something, Chantal. When it comes to abuse, if it's real, you don't have to exaggerate it. It's bad enough on its own. So you're basically confessing right here in your own words, you lied. You lied about something really severe and really traumatic that has hurt and affected so many people. You did it for attention because you're always wanting attention. And aside from the attention, you want money. So in this horrible, awful, vile story arc, you got both. Congratulations, you suck.
I did. I have a hard time accepting reality for what it is, and I also have a hard time not getting my way.
She has a hard time accepting not getting her way. So you're going to force somebody to be with you? You're going to try and blackmail someone to be with you? That's how you get a man to stay in your life? By getting with them, by making them codependent on you through the money? Maybe finding out some personal stuff about them, and if they try to leave, you threaten them? This is your idea of love, Chantal?
So basically, no, I'm telling you the truth, actually, Wilhelmina, so that's what you're asking. Oh, so I did lie. So, well, he's. Remember when I first, before you knew his name, I called him Dom for a reason. Because remember the first stream I talked about him, he's kind of aggressive. Because he's aggressive. Like, he.
Okay, can I just correct some information here, right here? Chantal, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. First, you lied about the SA and DV, claiming you were a victim of those things when you never were a victim. Then you're calling some guy Dom, thinking that's a Dom. It's amazing to me that you have a phone and you can do Google searches and learn about things, but you never do. You just read things on a page for a video and that's it. That's as far as your learning goes. You called Natter Dom, but he was never a Dom. He's not a true Dom. He was just an aggressive asshole. But in your head, you got a fantasy of having a Dom, having a dominant guy. But the problem is you're not a submissive woman. You're not. You're too much of a control freak. And you won't let go of the control. You want it when you want it. But you've got those fantasies of a dominant guy doing stuff with you. But this is you being an idiot and calling an aggressive asshole a Dom when he wasn't one.
He's a Dom
No,
by
he's
nature.
not. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Natter is not a Dom. I have knowledge about that world. He's not a true Dom. He isn't. Because he's not in control of himself. How could he control another person? He is not in control of himself. He's out of control. So he calls himself a Dom, but he's not a Dom. He just wants to put on that hat when it doesn't fit his head.
He's a very Dom and hi, J-Boy. He's very sorry to talk. I know I'm saying hi and then talking about serious. I'm sorry.
Step 1. Set your dating account to the BDSM community. Step 2. When you get mad, call the consensual sex bruises abuse to regain power, control, and the upper hand.
Yeah, about that. I'm bringing something up since I've been around a while in the Shantal verse. I remember, and for those of you that are on my channel, maybe you remember this too. I remember when Shantal was first seeing Natter, and she would go and see him and come home, and she would openly show off the bruises on her chest. And she wasn't stressed out about it. and she wasn't upset, and she wasn't calling it abuse. She was proud of those bruises. Like, look what happened to me. I had rough sex. So he was doing stuff with her. Whatever it was happening. I don't even want to think about it because that's just gross. But in the beginning, the bruising was consensual. Obviously, it was consensual because she was happy. She wanted to show off that evidence that she had sex. But then later on, it became abuse? Huh. When they were good, everything was good. She had nothing bad to say. But the moment she did not get her way with Natter, suddenly it's abusive. He abuses me, blah, blah, blah. Liar. Liar.
I only exaggerated it by making it sound like, well, I don't remember even what I said, but
The abuse was so bad she doesn't even remember what she said. When you tell the truth, there is nothing to remember.
Right. You tell the truth about something, there's nothing to remember. It's only when you lie that you've got to go back in your head and figure out, what lie did I tell? How did I make it sound? That's why she's a bad liar. She tells so many lies, she can't keep track of them all. This is what happens when you put your brain cells and surround them in vegetable oil and cheese, Shantal.
what a capable beauty. So yeah. So that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know, Stag Jordy. I don't see him that way. I don't see him the same way you guys see him.
She doesn't see him the way we see him because she painted a picture of him as a different person to us.
Yeah, she did that a lot too. She would often come online and defend Natter even after the allegations. Like, she just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. One minute he's an abusive guy, the next minute, oh, I love him and nobody can tell me what to do. And you guys don't know the way that I do. And we're completely different off camera. She would constantly do that. Just flip-flopping back and forth. 1 minute being apologetic about the things she said about him, the next minute blasting him. And again, I say, if he was an abusive guy, all she had to do was block his number on her phone and stop going to his house. All the pain, whatever suffering she went through with Natter, it was self-inflicted because she could have stopped it. She had her own home. She had her own money. She was on YouTube. She had no reason to be around him except that she wanted to be there. And another thing, when she did the allegations, when she allegedly went to the cops, after she did that, she actually went to his house with a care package, coffee and green. Imagine that. Going to the cops, alleging that SA happened to you, but then later on going to somebody's house with a care package because you want to talk to them. Does that sound normal to y'all? Does that sound something like a victim of SA or DV would do for their abuser? No. No. Those are the actions of a fake, phony victim. That's what.
Kind of like already pretty much, which is cool. That was really good for him. Like, I think that was a really smart decision on his part. You know? I don't like that people are kind of, you know, like my haters and stuff will be like, I get that doing this has, like, it shows you his good side, shows you who he really is, you know? I've only talked about bad things that have happened or whatever.
Shows you who he really is, you know? I've only talked about bad things that have happened or whatever.
But that's like,
okay, like two things can be true at once. So, like, I love what you put here, Karma. Her storyline is more important than his reputation, or his reputation needs to be bad for the storyline. Both of those things are true for Shantal. Her storyline for her and for her channel and for her views and for her money. It's more important than his reputation. And his reputation needs to be bad for the storyline, because that's what sucked people in. That's the picture she painted of Natter. He's a bad guy. He's an abusive guy. She said he had the black-eyed rage, that he hit her so hard that she saw stars, that he blocked her from leaving the house. Oh, yeah. Yeah. She was making all these claims on Natter. And yet she kept going back to go see him. She couldn't just have a good guy that she hung out with, because that would be boring. No, he had to be a bad guy. He had to be a bad boy. And I'm not saying he's a good guy. I don't like Natter. He sucks. But she painted the most evil picture of him. And at the same time, she left half the picture unpainted. And the other half of the picture was the picture of herself. She didn't want to put the spotlight on herself and spotlight how abusive she is and that she was. She confessed she's verbally abusive. She said that multiple times. She gets verbally abusive, and words can hurt just as much, if not more, than any fist or punch. Words can hurt your soul. They can hurt your mind. And the bruises from those sometimes take years to heal. But she's verbally abusive. She's got a temper. And who knows, maybe her and Natter got physical with each other. Chantal's got a temper. Who knows if she got physically abusive, but she's not going to mention that. She's not going to spotlight how abusive she is, how much of a predator she is. No, she's going to paint this half picture of look at him, don't look at me.
That storyline is like a big deal in my life, right? Even though I didn't share it with you guys, but it's like, do you know what I mean? So whenever people say like, oh, maybe she's lying about what she told us or whatever, it makes me feel like my story is like invalidated in a way. Like, do you know?
But you know what? Your story is fake, so it is invalid. Your story is fake. All the claims of abuse, fake, phony, invalid, written off, voided, done.
You know what I mean? Like I'm a liar, and like
you are.
Like I sort of like I believe it.
Do you guys understand what she's telling you here? In layman's, she's saying Nads is a good person, but I've only told you guys bad things about him because it's important to my storyline. Do you understand the depths of the depravity of this?
Yep.
Or the calculation? She did this for a few reasons. First, as an attempt to ward off any potential haters trying to steal her man, to eliminate her competition.
Just think about that for a minute.
She simply didn't have the confidence to compete.
Sorry, Karma. Just think about that for a minute, y'all. How evil do you have to be? How possessive? How much of a control freak you have to be? That you have a man around you. And instead of trying to hold on to that man by just being a good, decent person, doing good deeds, just being awesome in every way, your way to hold on to them is to paint a dark picture of this person so that nobody else would want him. Like, I'm going to smear you in every way, and I'm going to make you look awful in every way, just because out of just jealousy and insecurity, it means less women are going to be talking to you. I'm going to make you look like crap. That's how I'm going to hold on to you. Rather than be a good person and that person wanting to hold on to you because you're a catch, you're going to almost force that person to be with you, like trying to get everybody else out of the way. That's how you do things, huh, Chantal?
Compete honestly. Dee Dee decided to roll through anyway. Second, seeking drama and sympathy, which equates money and views.
Mm-hmm.
And last, but certainly not least, the to obtain and maintain power and control. She then goes on to say when people don't believe her lies, she feels invalidated. I won't go into the constant validation she seeks in this one, but in another video we will cover that. However, it is why she seeks validation from her lies. Validation from having a man. Validation from everything. The constant need for validation comes from deep-seated insecurity, but very malicious in intent.
Yep.
Mental IQ of a teenager. Really? Maybe, Kristen, I don't know. When it comes to love, yeah.
When it comes to everything.
I've always been that way. I've always been that way. I've always been stupid when it comes to love. Eloise.
Well, that's because you try to force people to be with you. You manipulate people to be with you. You're a horrible, horrible scumbag, Shantal. You put your worth in everything that doesn't matter. You don't put anything in yourself. You don't work on yourself. You don't want to work on yourself. You want people to accept you the way you are, but yet you won't acknowledge how awful you are. Hence the reason why you have to trap people next to you.
You should stay with him.
That shit is still as creepy today as it was the day she said it.
There's no broomstick.
Okay, I'm just going to read this. The original allegation was he raped her with a broomstick. Turns out she was mad he wouldn't do her vaginally, only anally, because he was afraid to get another STD, so she lied and cried grape. Wow. Girl. What do you say to this? Listen, I'm not laughing at grape. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the amount of lying she's doing. The outrageous lie. She accused him of doing things with a broomstick. And that never happened. She was just mad that he would not have regular intercourse with her. He wanted, I'm going to say this nicely. I'm sorry, forgive me. He wanted the back door because the front door was infected. There. And so because he wouldn't do what she wanted him to do, she cried essay. That's horrible. Accusing somebody of something really awful just because you're not getting the kind of sex you want. Natter's a horrible person. He's a scumbag. But no one should accuse anyone of grape unless it's actually happened. Because that's really, really very, very serious.
Buster, that's not true. He's not a predator.
No, but you are. You and Natter are both predators. You are too, Shantal. You are a predator. Yes, you are. Miss going on Omegle and dressing in lingerie and like being an almost next to nothing in front of young people. Predator.
He's never like made me do anything I don't want to do, but he likes to be in charge.
Okay, she just said something important. He's never made me do anything I don't want to do. He never forced her into anything. That includes a situation with him and Dee Dee and Shantal. You just heard what came out of her mouth. He never forced me. So that means everything that happened consensually. Right? That's usually what it means.
Do you think Natter's an asshole? Why? What? Which is what?
He's controlling.
Yes, that's true.
I hit you.
He hit me.
No, he didn't.
No, he smacked me.
And another thing, since we're here, since we're gonna go all through, we're gonna do all this shit today. At that time, when Shantal was seeing Natter, one of the things that she liked to do was she would like to triangulate. She would go home and talk to Pete and tell Pete how awful Natter was. And then she would go over to Natter and tell Natter how awful Pete was. because she wanted both men fighting over her. She loves that. She loves when men fight over her. She loves all of that fighting over me attention. So this was during that time period when she was still seeing Natter, still talking to Natter, and she was going to Pete's and filling up his ears full of garbage, going to Natter, filling up his ears full of garbage, just so she could be in the middle and just go, tee hee, they're fighting over me. Vile.
No, he didn't. He grabbed my face like this.
And here we go. Here's a comment. Cupcake saying, this is so disrespectful to real DV victims such as myself. I'm sorry that happened to you, Cupcake. Do you think this is a joke? It wasn't a joke to Shantal. For her, it was worse than a joke. It was a storyline. It was an arc to make money. And she made a lot of money during that whole year with Natter. I mean, she took home some of the biggest paychecks she's ever seen with Natter. She talked about getting one paycheck for like $20,000, $30,000 for a few months. And then after she and Natter split apart for good, the paycheck started to go down after that. But this was the time when she made the most money by exploiting the topics of SA and DV. And yes, it is very vile to those of us that have been through that trauma and we've come out the other side. We are warriors, we are survivors, and we are here. And she just basically made a mockery of it.
No, I'm not. I'm not being abused.
She said, I'm not being abused. That's not what you said on all those live streams. All those nights that you got online talking about all the things he did to you. I'm not being abused. Then why are you painting yourself a victim? Every night. Every night. Even now in Kuwait, you bitch. You're still painting yourself the victim when you don't have to. You can just drop that subject. If you had any respect for people that have been through SA and DV, you would just drop it. You should apologize. You should say, I am so sorry. I am such a dick. I lied about the things that happened to me. I absolutely lied because I needed to make money. But I lied, and I shouldn't have lied. I am so sorry to everybody for those lies. For anybody I triggered, I am sorry. But you will never apologize. So since we'll never get an apology out of you, Shantal, the best thing you can do is just shut your mouth. And stop claiming to be a victim of something you've never experienced. And I know you haven't. I know you haven't. No one who's ever been through that wanted to ever go through that. They don't want those memories in their mind forever. But for you, it's just another day, just another dollar.
Okay. Actually abused me for 10 months. He deserves this.
No, you don't.
He deserves this.
Remember what I told you about her infatuation with you deserve this, and you have no right.
You deserve everything you get. You do not deserve to be in Canada. You do not to deserve to breathe the air of Canadian air. I fucking hate you all, and I hope you all rot in hell. And this is the last time I'm ever talking about you. I'm too fucking good for you. I've always been too fucking good for you. I've always been too. Let's go. You want to go? Let's go.
Oh boy. I remember this night. This is Chantal. She was feeling herself. And she was going to react to Frenchie. Talk about coming to a gunfight with a butter knife. Chantal, you ain't ready. You know you ain't ready. Uh-oh. Oh no, we got to get past this music.
Basis. Okay. And Natter has never beaten me. So.
What? What was that you said? He's never beaten me. But he abused you, right? You did say he hit you so hard that you saw stars, but he never beat you? I'm sorry, what planet are you from? Because the planet that I'm from, if somebody punches you so hard that you see stars, that's called being beaten on. So make up your mind. Did he beat you or not?
That's the difference, Sophia. Okay. Did I ever say he beat me? No, I never said that. Don't
Yeah,
know.
you did. Yeah, you did. You did. You told all of us over here, to everybody, he hit me so hard I saw stars. That's pretty significant. That's a pretty hard punch. When you're dazed. That's not a simple slap. That's, you're out of it for a minute. Liar.
Oh, the whole relationship, going to the police station and like just doing the police report to begin with. Like I feel like my intentions weren't clean with it.
Hi, baby Lee. And he has to live with her now that I'm not getting the apartment for us, and he has to fuck her now because he doesn't pay rent. I'm guaranteed that's the arrangement. Just like he would have had to do with me if I was paying his rent. He would have had to screw me too, right? Of course, I realize it's not a medical term. Lunar moon. It shows what kind of person you are. No, I didn't lie about SA. You don't know the situation, so why are you even talking about it? Anyone who is not there, who has no idea, can fuck all the way off. Karma will come for you too for accusing someone of false claiming, right? Just because it's me. But when it's May or anyone else, it's not false, right? Suck it. Shove your money, asshole. Karma will get you. Trust. Karma's getting everyone I said.
Hey, Miss Pinky. You know, you like to rage with the old pinky, so let me just rage with my pinky. I already know you ain't been through SA, and I know you've not been through DV. How about that? I think you're a fake, phony victim in both instances. You've not been through SA. You've not been through DV because the person who did those things to you, you never went to the police station and pressed charges. You acted like you did. And isn't it fucking interesting that you'll go after the reaction channels and none of us have done even half the things that you claimed Natter did to you? You are a wrathful, vengeful person. You like to go after people that you feel have wronged you. So let me ask you this. You and Natter going after each other, going for each other's throats, but there's always been a line in the sand that neither one of you fuckers will cross. He could get your channel canceled. You could get his canceled. All that time that you claimed he was doing those things to you, you could have gone to YouTube and canceled his channel, but you never did. Why is that? Why is it you'll go after the reaction channels and give them a headache, but not the guy that did the most physical, mental, emotional harm to you? Why is that, Shantal? Why? Why were you protecting your abuser? Why weren't you going full throttle with your revenge on that one? Explain that to me. Explain how you could give somebody like that mercy, but not the reaction channels. You hated Natter, but yet you used him to go after the reaction channels. That whole period where he issued like over 140 complaints, privacy complaints, that wasn't him. That was you. That was you using his hands to do your dirty work. Yeah, we know that too, bitch.
Said it would, aren't they? Good luck.
And Natter has never beaten me. So that's the difference, Sophia. Okay. Did I ever say he beat me? No, I never said that.
Somebody who beat the shit out of me on a regular basis. Okay.
I love this. Karma, this is awesome. I love the back-to-back clips. Love this. I never said that, but yet I said that. I'll claim it when I want to. And I never said that. I just changed my mind. Right, Chantal?
I'm sorry I don't have any feelings for that person at the time. Oh, no. She drank a bottle of vodka and went off on her abusive boyfriend? What are you trying to prove? You have nothing.
Number 1.
Okay, I'm confused. Help me, y'all. So you guys are watching the clips with me. She said in her own words, let's recap. She said he never beat her, right? He never beat her. As far as things that were sexual, she was never forced to do anything. So how did he abuse you? Can you please explain that to me? I really want to know. And whatever abuse that happened, even if it's just like verbal, why didn't you stay away when you could have? See, that's the interesting thing. Why didn't you stay away when you could have? You guys didn't live together. You could have stayed away. But you kept going back when you didn't have to.
You have no feelings for anybody, not
Nope.
just the Nads.
Nope.
2. He wasn't your boyfriend. He said it 1,000 times. 3. I'm trying to prove Nader is innocent. Amp, you maliciously lied just to control him. Or as you like to put it, to get your way. 4. I have a lot more than you think I have. Shall we discuss the lady you sent to test Nader's fidelity? I'm sure by now you know she lied to you, but we will cover that in another video. 5. Stop trying to downplay this. It wasn't just an ex-girlfriend getting drunk and going off on her abusive ex-boyfriend. It was someone highly disturbed, desperately trying to regain control of a situation nobody but her wanted to be in.
Right.
You are a piece of low-life trash. That's all you have. And this is your legacy.
And what is your legacy, Shantal? Can we talk about that for a minute? Let's think about your legacy. Let's think about it. Like, if this is not me wishing anything upon you, this is just me asking a question. What would be your legacy? What is the legacy you're leaving behind? If you were no longer here, how would people remember you? What would they remember you for? What is your legacy? The feelings, the impact you've left behind. You would be remembered as a dramatic, offensive, gross, vulgar train wreck on YouTube. That anything with a heartbeat that got within 5 feet of you was negatively affected, harmed, and neglected. There's probably not a single person that surrounds you right now that has anything positive to say. There's not a single individual that could come forward and say, I really like Shantal. She's a great person. I have been made better for knowing her and for talking to her. She's really been there for me. Nobody could say that because you have never cared for anyone but yourself. As a matter of fact, you don't even care for yourself. And evidence of that is your appearance. You're over 500 pounds and you're 5 feet tall. You're abusing your body. Instead of putting on the brake, you're pushing on the gas pedal. So you abuse others and you abuse yourself. You don't even care about yourself, Shantal. You just care about maintaining your addictions and finding people to fund those addictions.
I was still attached to a narcissistic abuser.
And you're still attached.
I was getting extremely drunk to escape my feelings.
Oh, no, you weren't. Look, some people do drink to numb themselves out. That's true. But then other people, they drink to let those feelings out. And that's what happened to her that night. She was all in her arrogance. She was feeling very arrogant, very much on her high horse, very elitist. She went on a blogging spree. She was cursing out her own VIBs. She even went so far as to tell people that she would manipulate the F out of them and then come on the next day and be sweet as pie and people would eat it up. She was confessing outright to how manipulative she is, because she knew that even by saying that, people would continue to watch her, and they did.
So Cuba, for those of you who don't know, I got extremely inebriated.
She did get inebriated, but not to the extent that she tried to portray. I do believe she had some drinks, but she wasn't falling down drunk as she should have been. So even with the drunkenness, there was a bit of a lie.
A couple of years ago. I was getting extremely drunk to escape my feelings.
When a control freak loses control, it makes them feel chaotic and manic inside.
Oh, yeah. The time that Shantal has been the most mad, you can go back to the history of all her content in those true epic meltdown moments. They happen because she, as a control freak, she, as a narcissist, she would get infuriated when she could no longer control the narrative. or if she told a lie and it was absolutely exposed and she couldn't deny it. I mean, here's an example. The whole thing with BBJ. She kept insisting for a long time that there was nothing wrong with BBJ. And then BBJ was rescued by FFG and her family. And then all of the neglect got exposed, and Shantal couldn't cover it up. She couldn't hide it anymore, and that sent her into a total meltdown because the worst of her evils was exposed, and there was nothing she could do about it.
That's what she was drinking to deal with. That is the quote emotion. Unquote, she cannot deal with. Chantal has consistently tried to paint this as an eat, pray, love journey.
Oh no, no, it's not. It's not. Look, I love that movie. I love Eat, Pray, Love. It's a great movie. It's a movie that Chantal should watch and really think about the message of self-discovery, of what it means to be truly happy. There is that message in there. It's a really awesome movie, but Chantal somehow watched the movie and she missed the message. She absolutely missed it. But she's trying to do the eat, pray, love thing, but unsuccessfully. Because in the movie, Julia Roberts' character goes to 3 different places in the world and she has different things that happen to her in these different places. But she's made a better person by the end of the movie. Chantal's gone to Kuwait and she just plopped herself there and she has not improved. She hasn't grown as a person, except outward, not inward.
When in all reality,
Okay, I got to turn this down because there's obviously some stuff. I'm sorry, I got to turn off the audio. I'm sorry, Karma. No, no. Oh, yeah, this was her with Natter, trying to be the femme fatale. Oh, look. Look at her glasses. Look what she's watching. Yeah, okay. Look what she's watching. This person who claims that this other person abused her, I remember her doing live streams. And she and Natter were literally tag teaming each other. Like he would go live, and then as soon as he was done, she would go live. And sometimes they would go live on top of each other just so they could fight. Like that's how they kept the views going. And then Dee Dee jumped in the mix and it got even messier. But she literally would jump off her live to watch him live. That's how obsessed she was with Natter. Oh. Yeah, there's a movie, The Crush, 1993. A journalist becomes the unwanted center of attention for young girl perceives to sabotage his life after he refuses her sexual advances. That's Chantal to a T. Okay, due to copyright reasons, I'm sorry, gonna have to skip through some of this. Again, apologies to Karma. I'm just worried about YouTube, hon.
iPad Pro.
Yeah, that's the new computer that she bought for him. Foodie Beauty buys Nader El Shami 2K iPad Pro for Christmas. Yeah, she bought him expensive gifts. And think about what Salah just got from Chantal. He got a new car. So this is a cycle. If she has a man in her life, and if he's not satisfied with small gifts or small amounts of money, and he starts to run away, she'll tempt him back with bigger stuff and bigger stuff and bigger stuff. And Nader figured her out really early. He worked her.
Christmas gift. Chantal, by the way, thank you, Chantal. She sent it to me as Christmas gift. Thank you.
So this person that was her abuser, she went out and got him a new freaking iPad. He abused me, but I'm going to buy him an iPad. But he was so awful.
Oh yeah.
Didn't have to do that either. He's an awful person, but I'm buying him gifts. I'm cutting out some of the footage.
I deleted his live stream out of anger when I.
Oh, that's another thing she did. So Chantal got mad at Natter and she deleted his live stream just to make him angry. That's her being the control freak. That's her saying, look, what I gave to you, I can take away. And if I can't take it away, I'm going to fuck around with it. You make me angry and I'm going to just destroy you or things that you like. Because she does that too.
I was watching it on replay.
You choose it in that way to delete my live stream. You don't even ask me. I'm not happy with it.
Bam.
Like that's her playing games with him. Like they were constantly messing around with each other. But she loved to try to exert control over Natter.
You called me a piece of shit?
Okay, now this live stream right here, this one was also infamous. I mean, it wasn't on the same level as Cuba Rage, but this was a night when she was really drunk. She was desperate to get Natter's attention, and she just kept calling him. And this was after the allegations. After she went to the cops, she was still calling him. Still.
It's $40 extra. Give me the kryptonite.
Can you imagine calling your abuser with a smile on your face? That's what she's doing. Can you imagine, though, having somebody that is abusive to you and you are not only calling them, but you're calling them with a smile on your face, like you're a happy little schoolgirl. Oh, I'm going to call my crush. Fake phony victim. Liar.
Fucker. Oh, what? I have you on speaker.
Hello.
Hi. Are you gonna tell everybody that you really like me or what?
Why you fucking stupid idiots?
What? See? You called me a piece of shit?
I can't imagine dealing with somebody like this. That they're so wrapped up and they're so obsessed that they sit there and they blow up your phone. Calling him again and smiling. Hey, I'm talking to my abuser. Isn't it? Aren't I cool? No, you're not. You're an idiot.
Somebody just told me that you called me a piece of shit.
Well, if the shoe fits.
No, I'm not gonna call the police, but it hurts my feelings.
What feelings?
What? Yeah. Why would you say that?
Because it's true.
How can you say that about somebody you love?
Because he doesn't love you. That's how.
What? Go take your medication. Fuck you. Like, seriously? You think you're gonna find hotter and better than me? Why don't you just go on live right now and fucking stop lying? Like seriously? I hate this guy.
No, you don't. Because if you truly hate somebody, you want nothing to do with them. You turn your back and you don't turn around and just keep walking. If you're still reaching out to him, still calling his phone, even to this day, still bringing him up, you don't really hate him. As a matter of fact, it points in the direction of just the opposite, Chantal. It points in the direction of you miss Natter. And you want to be with Natter. Natter was your one true love. Nader was your soulmate. Salah is just a guy that you're paying to stand next to you and be your caretaker, but he doesn't accept you as you really are. That's why you're cosplaying being something you're not. But Nader accepted you as you were, and that's part of the reason why you miss him. That and the fact he actually had sex with you, and Salah won't touch you.
I want to kiss Pete. I want to make up.
Okay, yeah, this happened too. A trigger warning for anybody in the audience. This night, when she was this drunk, she did in fact end up aggressively kissing Pete without his consent and regardless of his feelings because she knew Nader was watching, and she did it to make Nader jealous. So she pushed herself on Pete, and Pete wanted nothing to do with her. She committed SA. Right there on camera. Gross, disgusting human.
Oh, it's somebody. I better tell Nader that. Hold on. He has to know. He has to know what he's missing out on. Nader al-Shami always said I was a good kid. Always said I had a way with words. Always said I was a good kid.
She's singing. I don't want to hear it.
I put my keyboard in Arabic. How do I change it? Why are you being rude to me? No, why are you being mean? Why are you talking? Listen. Yeah, I did, but you don't have to be rude.
Chantal, you kept blowing up his phone. You know, you were looking for views, you were looking for attention, but I can't imagine being so starved for attention that I'm going to call my abuser and treat them like a best friend. Nope.
Listen, no, I don't, because I can't change it now. I'm drunk. I love you. Sorry. Say sorry to me too. What do you mean no? You don't think you ever did anything?
He said no. He said, no, I'm not sorry. He said, I'm not sorry. Listen, I'm not a Nader fan. I will never be a Nader fan. But Nader never, as far as I know, painted a picture of being anything than what he was. Chantal, on the other hand, when she first started seeing Nader, she was different. Like, she made sure to take a shower, clean herself up, put her makeup on, do her hair, all of that. She painted this picture of, you know, keeping herself up and being helpful. And then over the course of time, she started to let more of her real self out. So she put on a false face. Nader never put on a false face. He was a bad guy all the way through, and she just fell in love with it because she envisioned herself as being a bad girl.
You mean to me? You don't feel bad? Are you watching me?
I've always said I think her and Nader, they have this weird, strange love-hate relationship. They really do. They have a weird love-hate relationship. They can't get away from one another. It's just very, very weird. They can't get out of each other's orbit.
Nader. Okay. If you say yes, then I will love you forever and give you everything you ever wanted in your life. Do you love me?
No. He loves your money.
What? What? Why did you stay?
She was really drunk this night.
Hmm? pieces of shit. Don't love people. Ugh. Right, Natter? Oh, you fucking bitch. You think that is... Okay. I'm gonna fucking call him right fucking now. Fucking asshole. You know what? I want to talk to his friend.
You know, obviously Natter wanted some attention from Shantal this night because whatever happened to just turning your phone off? It's just you're not answering the phone when she calls. Just block her number or turn the phone off, but he kept answering her freaking phone calls.
You know the guy who owns the fishery? You know the guy... You know your friend who owns the fish place?
So she was asking about one of Natter's friends so she can, I guess do something with him. Slutty.
The guy who owns the fish place.
Yeah, so she can't have Natter. She's like, do you have a friend that I could have sex with? Imagine calling up your abuser and saying, do you want to have sex with me? No? Do you have a friend? God. Twisted.
Hey, wait. He's into goat, not buffalo. You fucking asshole. No, why are you being so fucking mean?
Because you are.
No, don't. Listen. Why are you being mean?
After she purposely tried everything she could to upset him, she wants to know why he's being mean. Gee, I wonder.
Yes, please. Why are you being mean?
She's calling him names. She's calling him up and wanting him to tell her that he loves her, then asking about one of his friends, like trying to make him jealous. And she wonders why he's being mean.
Do you know that no, listen. Excuse me. Oh, you fucking motherfucker.
And by the way, everybody take note of the way she's dressed. So this person, Natter, that was her abuser, she came on stream this night dressed in next to nothing because she was trying to entice Natter, trying to entice her abuser. She wanted him to call her up and invite her over. Imagine that. Purposely getting dressed up in lingerie on YouTube during a live to entice your abuser because you're desperate for their attention.
Really? You don't know that I pay your fucking phone bill? You stupid fucking piece of shit.
And that's another thing. Yeah, she did pay the phone bill. And why did she do that? So that if she paid the phone bill, she could always talk to him. That's why. She would have access to him. It's all about control.
You're really gonna fucking ignore me like that, you fucking piece of shit? Really? You're gonna ignore me like that? For real?
For real.
For real, you're gonna ignore me like that? You're gonna ignore me like
that? Yeah, Natter knew how to play the game with Shantal. He knew exactly how to play her like a fiddle. He figured her out so well because she's not that hard to figure out. She loves attention, and for a narcissist, like the worst thing you could do to a narcissist is deprive them of attention and ignore them. So he figured out the more I ignore her, the more I can get out of her. And even better for him, he brought Dee Dee into the picture to make her insecure and jealous. Because if she was feeling insecure and jealous, she would give up more money just to be able to spend time with Natter. Natter used Dee Dee as a form of leverage to get more out of Chantal. And Chantal was so stupid, she couldn't figure that out. She fell for it every time.
Like that? What? My boyfriend's calling me.
What? You don't have a boyfriend.
Matter? I'll grab this piercing out of your nose. You asshole! You're cute. Yeah.
Yeah, she literally called all day.
Yeah. Why'd you say that? Why would you say it was you those motherfuckers are gonna do?
Okay, what else we got here?
What? Why wouldn't you just say I love you? Or like, whenever someone asked, hi Lemonsy. Whenever someone asked about my search history, you know what was in it? And this is where I messed up. And this is where I messed up. The title was, it was a YouTube video I had watched. The title was, I killed my abusive husband. Do you know how fucking bad that looks if they subpoena my search history? And the thing is I wasn't watching it to get ideas on, like, any ideas. Like,
yeah, but she gets all of her ideas from the shows.
In the shows. It's just because I love true crime. No, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking the fuck out. I can't do this. I can't. I'm freaking out for real. I'm freaking out for real. I can't. Shit. And me, I'm like, nah, he loves me. He can't leave me. He loves me.
Okay, the psycho running people off the road. They're honking at you for freak's sake. She knew he loved her in a gross abuse of power. She weaponized and exploited it against him for attention, content, and money. All true. All true.
Loves me. Nah, this was real. This was real shit. Like, this is for real. No, this is not gonna happen. You fucked with the wrong woman. You fucked with Foodie Beauty. You don't know me. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking crazy. You think I'm a bitch? Oh yeah, good, because I am one. You can call me your not girlfriend, just like you can lie your way out of a lot of shit, but I have like literal DMs of you literally telling me you love me and that you want to live with me. And Dee Dee, just so you know, go ahead and fucking sue.
You know, Shantal, you chose to involve yourself with a scumbag and a scammer. Somebody who is as much of a scumbag and a scammer as you. So if he figured you out, which he did, and he figured out that you wanted love and attention, and you got lots of money, he's a con man. He's going to say whatever it is he has to say to get that money out of you. So if saying out the words I love you meant $5,000, $10,000, a new iPad, a new iPhone, new clothes, more groceries, yeah, he's going to say the words. Doesn't mean he actually means them. He's just going to say them.
To me, I cannot wait to take you to court. Because you know what, bitch? You deserve everything you have coming to you. You deserve...
You know what, Shantal? You've threatened to take FFG to court. You've threatened to go after the reaction channels. Yet you've never gone after Natter, the person who's done the most damage to you. You just won't cross that line, even now. You could probably have his channel yanked. You made the channel, so why isn't it gone yet?
Everything you have coming to you. You inserted yourself in this shit. You inserted yourself. You laughed at me with him, so you deserve it. Him, so you deserve it. Him, so you deserve it. Are you lying or you're not? So are you lying or you're not? Are you lying or you're not? You think it's easy to come on here and say that your fucking boyfriend ass raped you? No, it's not.
For you it is, because it never happened. You just said in this video, he never raped you. You said that. And you admitted that you lied about that. You know, Shantal, when you tell a lie, you got to stick with that original story. You can't sit there and change it repeatedly, flip-flopping back and forth. Bitch. Stop lying about things that never happened to you ever. Because you want attention and you want to make money on YouTube. Stop that shit.
It's not. So go fuck yourself.
From the day I moved in, she's been hassling me. You know, she calls me up in the middle of the night.
Okay, this is from the movie.
You! Sorry.
You rape a little girl, yak.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, dude, I'm Muslim. I know people think that I'm just wearing this as a costume.
You are. You definitely are.
I know people think that I'm just wearing this as a costume. I know people think that I'm just wearing this as a costume.
You are.
But that's, I mean, that's your prejudice. That's your...
No, it's not prejudice. It's just fact. You haven't taken the faith into your heart. You don't pray. You're not keeping yourself clean. You're committing gluttony on camera every single time you do a mukbang, which is haram. You curse on camera. You're over there smoking. You're not taking the faith into your heart. You're not taking it seriously. It's a joke to you.
Your thought. Just because I'm not perfect and I do sin sometimes.
Shut up.
Doesn't mean that I'm not sincere about my belief in Islam. So. Going through emotions. Love is where you find it. Listen to your heart. Okay, I want to show you. I want to show them the floating market picture. The nice one. This one? You like it?
Yeah.
Look at me. This outfit is giving. I mean, you wouldn't even know what I am if you didn't know I was his wife in this costume. I know people think that I'm just wearing this as a costume. In this costume. Sorry. In this outfit with the hat and everything. I could be the aunt. I could be the grandma. I could be the sister. No, I'm just kidding. I love it. It's cute.
Not really.
In this outfit with the hat and everything. I could be the aunt. I could be the grandma. I could be the sister. No, I'm just kidding. I love it. It's cute.
What's that? In this what? In this costume? Chantal, you said way more than you think you did in this clip alone. I hope you love that for you.
Okay, so that's it as far as the video that Knock Knock It's Karma put together. And again, I urge everybody to go over to Knock Knock It's Karma's channel. If you haven't subbed to them already, please do so. And give them a like. I'm going to give this video a like. It certainly deserved it. Y'all go over there and give it a like and maybe give it a comment or two. And if you like the video, let her know that you really appreciated her making this because it was really well done. Really well edited. Great job, Knock Knock It's Karma. Okay, so that's it for this react. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a really great day. Bye.